It's that kind of day in Vizag here. No, don't get me wrong. It's the sun that's beating down on us here on Vizag as we get set for day 3, where fans will get set to see the spin twins who've combined since 2016 to take 133 wickets together in tandem. But first up will be Mohammad Shami and Ishant Sharma looking to make the ball do some talking as the Proteas resume at 39 for 3. And we get started with what's on the show. Well, day 2 belonged to who else but Mayank Agarwal, the 4th Indian to convert his maiden test run into a double. Clearly geared up for day 3, isn't he? And why not? He's waited years for this moment. He's got thousands of runs till he finally got his opportunity. In only his 5th test, his first in India, he has made an impression and he looks to answer some questions. Yes, this test match so far has been about special hundreds for both Indian openers. Thanks so much for joining us here on Nerolac Cricket Live, especially because when we were talking about hundreds, we've got 61 test centuries sitting with us here in the studio with Sunny G and Grimsby. Yes, I did the math. Even though I'm very poor at it, I managed to do the math. But today, it's not just about the hundreds, is it? Because today, it just might be a day that might belong to the spinners. You can already see with the way that Jadeja and Ashwin have been going through the paces. And yesterday gave you a bit of an indication that the final session of perhaps the difference between the two spin departments, or was it just the conditions and deterioration?
I think
a spin duo who since 2016 have taken 133 wickets in tandem, so it's not so easy. But just like Rohit Sharma perhaps showed the way earlier on for India as what Faf du Plessis needs to do. Here's what the hitman said ahead of this one. There from Rohit Sharma setting it up that it's an experienced bowling attack, not just the spinners, of course. Remember Mohammad Shami in the home season, how key he was in getting those breakthroughs, and this is, well, it's certainly something to be key there. Nuli Karthik did say that, you know, this is that sort of moving day. It becomes a really crucial day. Team India, when they approach today, Sunny, I mean, what's the initial game plan?
There's a little bit of time, so use your feet, you'll be all right.
There's still that window, isn't it, for the Proteas to, in a sense, just try and establish themselves, take a little bit. All your years, when you're looking to, let's say, a go-to bowler or the man who's up for a challenge. Now, we know that Ashwin is a thinking cricketer, sometimes looking to experiment, looking to evolve his game consistently. He doesn't really shy away from a challenge. Are those the sort of qualities you want when you're a captain, someone who really thinks quite a bit? To come. You don't know about that.
We'll extend his career by another couple of years.
Fair enough. Look, if there is someone who enjoys adversity and challenges and quite simply making a statement, whether it's verbal or whether it's on the field, it is Ashwin, and that's something that we look forward to in the next couple of sessions or so. For the moment, the one thing we really enjoyed in the past week was the Indian sports honours, all the sportsmen and women from across India coming together in one room and celebrating each other, celebrating the spirit of Indian sport.
Jatin Sabru and Sanjana Ganeshan.
What sport are you watching? Who's inspiring you as a sports person right now?
Well, I try and watch. I watch a lot of sport, and these two have to be the standouts.
Growing up, did you play any sports? What caught your eye?
I mean, I come from an army.
It's the man here who probably takes the longest to get.
Oh!
The tie takes some time,
very easy,
to be
very
fair.
easy.
Yeah?
Just a hairbrush, bit of face cream, and
Yeah, well, your hair looks like it's better set than mine and Sunny G. So, you know, I'm not buying it. I think you're hiding some secrets there. Certainly no secrets is what we can expect on the pitch. We'll take a breather here. We'll be right back. One of the things that we've been talking about quite a bit, of course, Mayank Agarwal and that double-hundred, but there's also him at fielding at short gully has been quite intriguing. So today in our Baiju's game plan, we have a look at someone who has a very, very special pair of hands, and who else but our game plan maestro, Akash Chopra, just as to what the Indian think tank is thinking when it comes to their fielding. Thank you so much for that Baiju's game plan, gentlemen. Are we a fan of this technique? Let's ask the gentleman here.
Well, actually, in the commentary box, we got a little bit crowded, so I told
Judge, it's still to be seen. It's something that gives us plenty to talk about. We've enjoyed that conversation, haven't we? And since Vizag is the city of destiny, it seems like the stars have aligned now for one Virat Kohli superfan when he finally met his hero. Special moment that was. You love to see these sort of interactions. Now you've got two set batsmen that will walk out after a better lunch, but it's hot. It's 32. The day has belonged to South Africa. This moment here at tea has belonged to Dean Elgar, the first South African batsman to score a century in India in 9 years. Gives us plenty to talk about here on Nerolac Cricket Live. Let's have a look at our top stories. So much to take away from the way that Dean Elgar has approached the day. Not just yesterday, that fight, that kind of twilight towards the end of a test match with Graham Smith here and VVS Lakshman, and makes Graham think back to, okay, when we were here 9 years ago, has it been that long since you've seen a South African batsman come out with a century? Because it didn't happen in 2015.
Yeah, the previous two.
Looking at his innings is how well he's handled the spin. Remember, there is a Amol Mazumdar in the camp. He would have had those conversations. Most of his runs have been scored down the leg as well.
Yeah, and I think
Favors the brave. You have to make most of the fortune. So whatever let off Elgar got early on in the morning session, that too from Ridhiman Saha, he has ridden that wave and transformed it into something. Those 200-run partnership that he's shared respectively as well with Faf and then Quinton. And Quinton just kind of making sure that the tempo, the ante remains the same. Again, riding a little bit of a wave of luck whenever it comes your way. He's capitalized on that. Well, Graham, don't worry, your record as a South African captain in India still intact. You still have the highest score by a South African captain in India. But what Faf also managed to do today was, get over that record. It was how they handled the Indian spinners, and particularly that left Virat Kohli looking for the other options as well in terms of the bowlers. Those wickets, extract those wickets. So how, as a captain, how are you keeping your bowlers in line, keeping them from getting frustrated, sticking to a plan rather than trying too many things?
Well, a bit of cat and mouse, but I think maybe some more patience is required.
We all have a lot of patience in this studio, with each other at times as well. We're very zen mode in this studio. And someone else who's in zen mode is Sanjana, because she has been enjoying all the sights and sounds of Vizag. Now it's Nariyal Pani. That's the order of the day in this tea session. But look, it's a crucial last session, especially from India's perspective, before letting that sort of frustration set in. If you're Virat Kohli right now and you're speaking to your bowlers, you're looking at those other options. What are you looking to get out of that final session with the conditions changing a touch?
I think also be patient.
The attack was taken. Too happy with the runs that have been scored against them, because it's not natural for these two to be in that sort of situation. Was it just the batting and the plan against India's prime spinners, or were they just not being able to execute the spinner? You just wonder about that bowling option, because look, Faf du Plessis didn't have the greatest of records in India, came in today, got a bit of vindication, and also had already faced about 25 deliveries before he faced his nemesis Ravindra. Faf du Plessis. Was there a tremendous amount of pressure on him as a batsman and as a captain before he came here?
I think it was a big day for Faf du Plessis mentally more than anything.
It's a big statement that's been made by South Africa. I'll give you tremendous tour. Sunny G is the first to tell you need to start a tour in India well, otherwise you just succumb to the pressure, and South Africa know that from 4 years ago. So what do Team India need to do tomorrow? It's a huge day, isn't it? We'll discuss that when we come back.